After God saw that his creation was good, the seas flowing, skies stretched wide, mountains standing firm, and every creature moving in harmony, he decided to make something greater. He said, "Let us make man in our image, after our likeness. From the dust of the earth, a form began to rise, shaped by his hand. Then came the breath of life, soft, golden, divine, entering the lifeless frame until the man opened his eyes. His name was Adam. He stood in awe, surrounded by Eden's wonder. Rivers sparkled like silver threads, trees swayed with fruit, and animals roamed without fear. Birds filled the air with melody, lions lay peacefully beside lambs, and every corner of creation whispered the glory of its maker. Adam walked among them, touching each, giving them names: lion, dove, eagle, ox. With every name spoken, the bond between man and creation deepened. Yet, even in all this beauty, there was a quiet longing, a space in Adam's heart that nothing else could fill. God saw this and said, "It is not good for man to be alone." So he caused Adam to sleep, and from his side he formed a companion. When Adam awoke, there before him stood woman Eve, shining with the same breath of life, the same divine image. Adam's eyes widened, his heart filled, and he said, "This is now bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh." Together they stood, the first man and woman, hand in hand beneath the radiant light of Eden, reflections of their Creator, beginning the story of mankind. Adam and Eve walked in perfect harmony, clothed not in garments, but in glory, their hearts pure and their spirits unbroken. The garden around them was alive with color, and sound rivers flowed with crystal clarity, trees bowed heavy with fruit, and every step they took was filled with peace. In the cool of the day, a voice greater than thunder, yet gentler than a whisper, would call to them. It was the Lord himself, walking with his creation. They spoke with him as a friend speaks to a friend, without fear, without shame, only love. In the center of Eden stood the trees, tall and radiant, the tree of life and the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. From the beginning, God gave them freedom. Every tree, every fruit, every blessing was theirs except one. The tree of the knowledge of good and evil was set apart. And God said, "Of every tree of the garden you may freely eat, but of this tree you shall not eat. For in the day you do, you shall surely die." Eve listened. Adam listened. They understood, and yet the garden's peace was not unchallenged. In the shadows, a serpent moved with quiet cunning. His eyes gleamed with deception. His tongue carried lies shaped as half-truths. Watching, waiting, he prepared to speak the words that would test the very heart of creation. The man and woman lived in innocence, unaware of how close darkness had crept. Their laughter echoed through Eden, their hands reached out to tend the garden, and their joy was complete. But beyond the rustling leaves, beyond the golden light, temptation was drawing near, ready to whisper doubt into the perfect silence. One day, as the sun painted Eden with golden light, the serpent slid close to Eve. His voice was smooth, his words like honey laced with poison. "Has God truly said, 'You shall not eat of every tree in the garden'?" Eve, unguarded, answered, "We may eat of the fruit of the trees. But of the tree in the midst of the garden, God has said we must not eat it, nor touch it, lest we die." The serpent's eyes narrowed, his tongue flickered. "You will not surely die. For God knows that in the day you eat of it, your eyes will be opened, and you will be like him, knowing good and evil." Her heart raced, her gaze fixed on the fruit. It was beautiful, desirable, and promised wisdom. She reached, she took, she ate. Then she gave to Adam, and he ate also. In that moment, the light dimmed. The joy that once danced in their souls fell silent. Their eyes were opened, but instead of glory, they saw shame. They looked at one another and realized they were naked. Hastily, they sewed fig leaves together, trying to cover what was lost. Then came the sound that once brought joy, now bringing dread. The voice of the Lord walking in the garden in the cool of the day. Adam and Eve, trembling, hid among the trees. The Creator who formed the stars called out with words heavy yet tender, "Adam, where are you?" Not because he did not know, but because he wanted them to answer. From the shadows Adam replied, "I heard your voice. And I was afraid because I was naked, so I hid." And God said, "Who told you that you were naked? Have you eaten from the tree which I commanded you not to eat?" Adam shifted, shame clinging to him. "The woman you gave to be with me, she gave me of the tree, and I ate." Eve's voice shook. "The serpent deceived me, and I ate. The truth was out. The perfection was broken." Yet, even in judgment, God's mercy lingered, for though they would leave Eden, his plan for redemption had already begun.